Hello everyone, I'm Kevin, otherwise known as Forum BX257, here to bring you another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. And continuing on with my Marines theme month, I'll be taking a look at the G.I. Joe team's second Marine, the 1986 Leatherneck. Now, Leatherneck makes his first appearance in the old Marvel comic run in issue 49, and makes his first cartoon appearance in the 1986 season opener, 5-part Arise Serpentor Arise, in the very first part. Just like Gung Ho before him, Leatherneck has his title as Marine, and that's not really a title because the title should be a military specialty, and a Marine is, well, a military service. So really, his primary military specialty is really an infantry trooper. Basically, he was the basic figure for the 1986 line. Now, a lot of people remember Leatherneck in the cartoon for often pairing up with his rival in the Navy SEALs, Wetsuit, and often arguing between the two, rather like an old married couple, as some people would suggest. I'd like to think, though, that Leatherneck out of the two was a little more even-minded. One very interesting thing about the sculpt for the figure is that his face is sculpted after Hasbro's lead designer, Ron Rudat, who is responsible for the design features on many of the early 1982 to 1987 G.I. Joe figures. It's quite an honor to actually have this figure in my collection because of that. Leatherneck comes with what's listed on the card contents list as an M16 over-under rifle. But as we all know, this is a Marine's favorite weapon, the M16A2, with an underslung M203 grenade launcher. Now this is actually, as a M16 variant, it's actually sculpted a bit larger than previously sculpted M16s, such as Grunt's M16 or Airborne's XM16, which is nice because now the carry handle is of a useful size. It can actually fit in the figure's hands. Leatherneck also comes with a field pack. And as you can see, I've put a bit of blue tack on the tab because these are rather notoriously hard to keep onto the figure. Now, he doesn't come with much, as he is basically an infantry trooper, but one thing which has always sort of annoyed me is his vest, which is over his camouflage outfit. The vest to me is a bit bright and is sort of reminiscent of maybe a sportsman or a sports fisherman vest, rather than something military and subdued. However, one thing which I've noted, which is really nice detail, is the patch on his arm. Now, admittedly, it's very small and very stylized, but it is quite clearly a Marine's 1st Division LURP patch with its skull and crossbones variant in the diamond. That's a really nice attention to detail, which I think that pretty much only an adult collector would really appreciate, and I certainly do. Now, as previously stated, in the Gung Ho review, Leatherneck replaces Gung Ho, at least on the toy shelves, as the resident G.I. Joe Team Marine. However, in the comic books, they were both seen in the background quite a bit often and for a number of years, and they worked together rather nicely in the cartoon. And I think they do complement each other rather than clash because of their, well, differing military specialties. But one nice little thing to note is that they're both wearing Marine field caps. While it's interesting to note that Leatherneck's face sculpt was based on Hasbro's lead designer Ron Rudat's face, It's equally interesting to note that the voice actor who played Leatherneck in the G.I. Joe cartoons was Chuck Mccann, who has had a very long and very interesting career. Now, Chuck Mccann is not only a voice actor, but also a veteran actor as well, from all the way from back in the 60s. The G.I. Joe cartoon actually makes direct reference to the actor twice. In the episode The Rotten Egg, which is basically a Leatherneck-centric episode, the main villain is called Buck Mccann in a sort of a parody of Chuck McCann's name. In the episode Ninja Holiday, Leatherneck explains that he's watched a movie called The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, which is a movie from the 60s that Chuck McCann starred in. Another very interesting thing is that even though he's best known as a sort of a children's television and comedian from the 60s well into the 70s, one interesting thing I sort of dug up was the fact that he's also a narrator on some Playboy videos from the early 80s. I guess being Hugh Hefner's best friend has its benefits. Well, that's all the time I have right now. Please check out my Facebook page for more information and behind-the-scenes photos for these reviews. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for next time to see another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. See you then.